Good morning, everyone. What time is it? Oh, 10:30. Odd time. I've got kids at camp. It's quiet here. Anyway, yesterday I got on and shared with you guys a little bit about one of the pillars of the Faster Way to Fat Loss program, which is carb cycling. And today I want to share with you another pillar, which is called intermittent fasting, and how we incorporate that in the Faster Way to Fat Loss and how it can give you a healthier relationship with food. So what is this F word we've all been hearing about? Like I said, it is fasting. I also sometimes want to say that the F for me means freedom. If you are catching the replay of this later, I'm Amberly Devers. I am a wife. I am a mom of 5 kiddos. 3 girls, 2 boys, and I am a certified Faster Way to Fat Loss coach. If you have not been following along for a very long time here, please go back through my feed. I share a lot about my journey to health this past year. I just turned 40, and I am actually healthier now than I have been my entire life. So I love sharing that part of my journey with you. So please feel free to check back, ask me questions, and I'm happy to share. Anyway, I always feel so rebellious when I say the F word, but like I said, it does refer to fasting, as in intermittent fasting. If you have not gotten with the times and heard what this buzzword is actually about, it's a really big topic in the health world, and it's kind of the newest health craze. But if you're not doing it correctly, and if you're not doing it in the guidelines of a coach or a medical practitioner so that you're fueling your body correctly when you are not fasting, then it can actually be extremely harmful. So I do want to get that out there. It's not, if you are just fasting intermittently and not fueling yourself correctly, then you're kind of, in a sense, starving yourself, and that is absolutely not okay. So I have several clients that are nurses, as well as a doctor and a PA that have gone through this program. It is 100% backed by science and the medical community in many regards, and they have loved this program. They are sharing this program with their patients. It is really and truly something that you want to jump on board with. I actually attribute my decrease in triglycerides not necessarily because of the 25 pounds that I've lost, but because of how the intermittent fasting will gives you cellular renewal in your body. That's why I think that my triglycerides have decreased. They went from 201, I can't remember what month, from one health screening 6 months later to 59. And so I definitely believe that that is the intermittent fasting that has done that. So as many and most of you know who have been around here for a while know that I used to be a fast food junkie. I'm talking for a decade. I was like, oh my gosh, nobody told me when I was gonna have this large family, like, that you had to feed these people, like 3 times a day. People have to eat. And I was exhausted, so I was like, load up, guys. It was Chick-fil-A, it was Wendy's, it was McDonald's. I mean, that's just what we did. I'm not saying 3 times a day, but at least once, sometimes twice. It was very, very, very frequent. It used to drive my cousin crazy. She's like, I thought you were really healthy. I was like, well, I was, until I got so overwhelmed that I could not function. So anyway, and then when I was not fast food junking, I was just plain old like junking. I loved to reward my difficult job as a mom and having this busy life with like a Heath bar or some Fritos. And I would like make them healthy and consider them a meal by like putting some cheese on them and melting them in the microwave, a bowl of cereal, some chips, all of it. Like, that is how I rewarded myself and made myself feel better. So here's the deal. I still, in this program, can make room for some of those things that I used to indulge in, but I don't do it all the time. I don't indulge in them all the time. And so I have a lot of freedom in knowing their place and how it fits into my macros. Just a moment. Because like I mentioned earlier, that is like my other F word, apart from fasting, is freedom. I have absolutely found freedom in intermittent fasting and the methods that we use in the Faster Way to Fat Loss. If you know a little bit about intermittent fasting, there are several ways to go about it. Most of the main way is a 16-8 fast, which you are fasting for 16 hours, most of which you're sleeping, and then you are feasting for 8 hours. Because if your body is not in a fasted state, it is in a digestive state where you are constantly working and overworking your system if you're not taking a break from eating. Did I say that correctly? I don't know. I'll have to go back and listen. Anyway, if I didn't, please forgive me. So some people do a 12-hour fast, a 12-hour feast. Some people do a 10-hour fast and a 14-hour feast. We also incorporate a 24-hour fast in the program. Some people, not myself or in the program necessarily, will do a 36-hour or a 48-hour. So there's several ways to go about intermittent fasting in the Faster Way to Fat Loss, depending on where you are in your health journey. But if you have not heard of Dr. Stephen Cabral, I would encourage you to go to his website, go to his podcast, find the one on intermittent fasting. It will give you a wealth of information of how amazing this concept and this strategy is to your health. I recommend you listen to it while you're like folding laundry or walking or something like that. That podcast is absolutely one of my favorites. I share it with people all of the time. So it's eye-opening to the number of health benefits that intermittent fasting will provide. But more than that, more than what it's done for my health, more than what it's done for my body, more than what it's done for my weight loss, my fat loss, is knowing that I'm doing something that's working long term. That's why I love this program so much. It is a great follow-up for people who have done cleanses through products and supplements. It's a great follow-up for people who have done the Whole30 and feel like, oh my gosh, this just is not sustainable. I need a little more freedom. It's great for people who love the concepts of keto, but don't feel as though they can live that way long term. This sort of combines all the best strategies that you know and love into something that is long term sustainable, and it's doable. Like I said, I'm a mom of 5. Like, I was the person that couldn't even fathom feeding people, and now I'm able to track my food effectively and efficiently and fuel my body and feel good and have the energy now to feed these people all day long. So once again, I feel full, I am not restricted, and I have a healthier relationship with food now at 40 than I have my entire life. Once again, if you are practicing intermittent fasting and you are not understanding how to also fuel your body correctly, you are doing more harm than good. And I would caution you to find a coach who can implement these strategies and teach them to you to do this correctly, so that you are not harming yourself. And these are just a few of the things that the Faster Way to Fat Loss teaches you. Like I said yesterday, we talked about carb cycling. This is how we intermittent fast. And it teaches you what and how to fuel your body with the correct number of carbs, fats, and protein each day. And it changes each day, so you don't feel like you're stuck in the same thing for the rest of your life to feel good and have great results. You have variety and variation. And I'm a former Army brat, and I rearranged my room all the time if we weren't moving. So I love having the variety. Once again, the next round begins in 6 days. I will be closing registration at the end of this week. That's why I'm hopping on here a lot to share with y'all, because then I start getting all these messages Sunday night. Is it too late? Is it too late? Is it too late? So I don't want you to miss registration. So if you are thinking about it, jump on. I have about 8 or 10 slots left. And then I will close registration. You will receive an email from me Sunday night with everything you need for getting started, and we will start fresh Monday morning. If you are just hearing about this for the first time and you're like, oh my gosh, I need some time, I've got to think about that, be sure to go to the link in my bio, download the free guide to intermittent fasting, how I ditched the drive-through. If you've already gotten that, then I would say to you to go to the link that says Faster Way to Fat Loss information. Just read about it. Just familiarize yourself with the program, and then as you're kind of following along my journey and the journey of so many others, you'll understand a little bit more of what we're talking about when we say, low carb, regular macro, low keto macro, carb cycling, intermittent fasting, it'll all start to make a little bit more sense. And like I said, fasting is part of our daily regimen. I promise it is not as difficult or scary or restrictive as it sounds. I 100% guarantee you it will be the thing that changes your life, for your family, for your friends, for your job, whatever it may be. I promise you that you will find great success. So anyway, don't forget, go to the link and read. Okay? Hope everybody has a great Tuesday.